Welcome to Magic Gathering Strat. My name is Ted, and this is the wrap-up video for version 1 of Project Grixis. I thought I'd start out first by announcing what my weekly upgrade budget is going to be. I decided on 15 tickets. I think I mentioned that in one of the videos. I had been thinking maybe just doing $10, but I think that's going to progress just much too slowly. So 15 is what I chose to do. I think that's not an unreasonable amount to spend on Magic per week. Plus, of course, any entry fees and things of that nature. So I guess the upshot of that is that that's what all of us are going to have to work with in terms of how to improve the deck for version 2. As I mentioned, I want you guys' input on what we can do to slowly progress towards a tier 1 type deck. So before I get to those upgrades, I wanted to go over my record. If you watched all 5 videos, in the videos I went 4-1. Those are just the ones though that I recorded. I did play some more games, so please don't be. By no stretch of the imagination do I feel that the deck is a 80 win % deck. First of all, it's an extremely small sample size, and it just ended up that when I started recording, I had a run of decent luck, and overall, this one screen holds all the games that I played with the deck. Just got lucky that it actually all fit in one pane here. And of these games, I think there's, if I counted them, I think there's 25. But only 18 of them are I actually figure into the calculation of how well the deck has done. Because there's some games like this one 1-0 where my opponent just quit. A lot of these early ones, well, actually all these except for these 3 here are in the just for fun, and you get a lot of people just starting a game and quitting and things of that nature. So I went through each one of these individually and filtered out all the bad games, so to speak, the incomplete matches, and so like for example anything that had 1-0 or 1-1, that match never reached its conclusion, so those are out. There's a couple of 2-0 games here where I won the first game, and then as soon as the second game started, the opponent quit. So let's see, I think I have my notes here. This one was 1, so this is not an actual 2-0 result. I won for game 1, and there was no other further game. And this one here is the other one. It's 0-2. I'm not sure why it went 0-2, but is that right? Anyway, there were 2 games among here that could conceivably be look at the data points, but aren't actual data points. So overall, the deck went 9-9, and that includes the 2-man queues where the level of play is increased. This first 2-man queue here and the second one are in the videos, in the previous videos. This one here I didn't record, but I think I'm just going to append a condensed version of this to the end of this video. I was just bored and decided to play an extra game, and I actually won that. That was against another burn type Boros aggro type deck. So let me go through real quick what kind of decks that we faced. Against Fraz 592, he was playing a white green. I'm sorry, not a white green. I think a green elf deck. Then against M-Purge, he was playing a white-green deck. It was like with a lot of value creatures. He was playing Anafenza, Mentor, Gaddock Teague, just an odd assortment, but he did beat me. Then against 1234 MZ, he was playing some sort of werewolves, a red-green werewolf deck. He pretty much I know I won a game, but he pretty much had his way with me. I think that's something that's going to give me some problems. You can't pyroclasm away his creatures that easily, and Electrolyze is weak to it, so that's something to consider. Sky Commander was playing a green-white humans deck with things like high-value enter the battlefield effects and creatures with soulbound, and he was playing Oblivion Rings to sort of try and control the board state. Remus Lobo here played. It was a weak deck. It was a red-green deck. I had no problem with that, but it's in the just for fun. I don't think it was a very serious deck. Arleon was playing some sort of strange Soul Sisters brew, but I couldn't do much against him. I think that game also I didn't. I was had just bad draws and bad mana, but nevertheless, it's a loss. A loss is a loss. Aegis Fang was playing a blue-green value deck where you had creatures with Hexproof, Undying, Death Touch. I don't think it had an overall theme except just put out stuff on the board and smash in. Tim 11689 was a black red white. Let me see, where is he here? Black red white goblins deck. He quit after the first game, so that's not in the statistics. Let's see, Rathma. That was Black Zombies. He crushed me. He wasn't playing Zombie Infestation. He was just putting out tons of zombie creatures, recurring them from his graveyard, and I just couldn't get anywhere with him. Lucas Nurmulk, sorry, was playing a blue card draw deck. Again, I really didn't see how he was going to win, but he was certainly going through his deck quickly. But in the end, just Pyromancer and a bunch of tokens and Delver of Secrets just overran him. And let's see, next is Willy the Nilly. He also quit. Then Fresh Monarch was playing blue-white deck with Myth Realized. Just basically trying to control the game until he had a couple of huge myths, and then just ended the game in a couple turns. Funk Masterizzi um, that was a blue green brew with a lot of mana acceleration. So he had a ton of forests and islands out, and then he just sought to put large creatures out, but he had no answer to a flying insect. So in the end, I managed to win that. And then you get into when I started recording games. This was the zombie infestation. Baby Stegosaurus here. It shows up as 1-0, but I don't know why. I think he had sometimes MTG doesn't record these correctly. But he was. Oh no, he quit the match. I think he didn't concede game 2. I think after the first game he just conceded the match. I don't remember exactly, but regardless, that game's up there. That was a budget elves deck. Life Chariot was playing the Azorius Landfall deck that was in also in one of the videos, and then we get to the two-mans. This was against Naya Burn. This was against Grixis Delver. We split those games, and then this last game was against another Boros type burn deck, like a Boros aggro. A lot of burn, but prowess creatures, Boros Reckoner, and he played Browbeat, which was pretty cool, I thought. But I managed to survive that, and then I played a couple extra games that really. No, wait, I'm sorry, that's not right. Who was this? Oh, the Toilet Scrub. No, yeah, T-Cheese. That was his. That was the Boros burn deck. Toilet Scrub. That's the game that I'm gonna tag on at the end of this. I don't remember what this was. I know it was blue, but I don't remember. I think it was just blue and just some weird creatures. So that's a summary of everything. Overall, 9-9. That includes the two-man games. And please let me know if you don't want me to go through all this detail and just give an overall record and move on to the next portion of the video. I'll do that in the future, in my future wrap-up videos. I don't want to draw these out, but at the same time, I want to try and provide as much information as you can. And particularly since I did so well on my recorded videos, I wanted to point out that, yeah, it just worked out that way this time. Most of the time, I'm going to have more losses. In fact, I had predicted myself, and felt that I was going to go maybe out of 5 games, 1-4. So to go 4-1 is actually just a fluke. So next, let's go to the collection and look at. I wanted to look at this deck here. This is the deck. I think this is one of the decks, one of the Grixis decks that I talked about in the intro video. And this is the deck as a whole, what he's running. And if you strip out everything that's not in our decks, then you get this. Let me sort these by converted mana cost. I apologize. There's some background noise. Like I said, I live in a noisy neighborhood. So you got Snapcaster Mages, Remands, a couple extra Thought Scours, a couple extra Gitaxian Probes, Serum Visions, Spell Pierce. For Tasigur, he's using Go for the Throat, Kolaghan's Command, and then of course the upgraded lands. In the sideboard, he's running an extra Dragon's Claw, Flash Freeze, Bitter Blossom, Dreadbore, Red Ghost Charm, Tribute to Hunger, Blood Moon, Izzet Staticaster, Vandal Blast. I had mentioned Vandal Blast, I think, in the intro video. I'm not sure that I guess the overload is quite relevant, but I just feel that most of the time, unless you have some other form of removal against something like Affinity, I'm never going to get to drop 5 mana and play Vandal Blast overloaded. So that's why I cut it from the sideboard, my sideboard. But if you feel it's a better option than Smash Smithereens, please let me know. So this is a sort of like a potential universe of options that we have to improve the deck. So, but this doesn't give us any information as to how to work this into our budget. So let me pull up this. Okay. So here, these are all those cards, and I just created this priceless deck, so to speak, with one version of each, so that you can see what the current price is as of, well, today's Friday afternoon, the 14th, I believe, and obviously with $15 we can't put in a Scalding Tarn or a Blood Moon. I mean, the 8 cents I'm not gonna quibble over. We could put in a Snapcaster. I don't think that that necessarily is a good choice. I'm thinking that probably one of the better things to do is to try and upgrade the mana base. Blood Crypts aren't very expensive. We could put one of those in, and in place of, say, a Swamp or a Mountain. Watery Grave is considerably more, almost double what a Blood Crypt is, but again, I feel it's a much better option than the Dismal Backwater. Polluted Delta certainly fits in our budget. We can't put more than, say, 2, but that would certainly help us with sorting out our mana and being able to cast all our spells. There's a bunch of cards here that we can certainly add that really cost us nothing to do so, like an extra Dragon's Claw or an Izzet Staticaster. They're a penny a piece, so that's not an issue to insert into the budget, or at least it's relatively easy to do so. We could go to increase the number of Thought Scours. We're running 2. We could go to 4 or 3. They're only 8 cents a piece, and of course that'll give you guys more chances to ridicule me for forgetting to cast them. But I promise that I'm going to try. That's going to be my number one goal, is to improve that portion of my my game. So I guess peruse this and tell me what you think. What to add? If you think there's something that better, let me know, and we'll see how this goes. I think that if I get a ton of feedback, I'm hoping to get a ton of feedback, and then that'll help decide how we go in the future. If I'm getting like 20 different card suggestions, obviously that's too much to go through and whittle down. So we might move to something where I'll give you a smaller condensed, and you guys say like 4 or 5 cards, and you guys can vote on which of those or which combination of those to add into the deck, and what you would pull out. So let me go to this second list here, and as I mentioned, the lands are probably one of the easiest things to upgrade. I think that they'll just essentially just make the deck run smoother without affecting too much the play of the other cards in the deck. Disrupting any kind of well, I don't think my deck's very synergistic, but anything of that nature. So I listed here again just one copy of the various lands in the Grixis colors, and I sorted them in terms of function. So we have Drowned Catacomb and Dragon Skull Summit. They're the check lands. Again, replacing a land in our deck with one of these is not that difficult. They're quite inexpensive. We're already running 2 Sulphur Falls, but we could always add another. I don't think that's probably the worst nor the best suggestion. So that's the third check land. Then there's the Paylands, Shivan Reef, Underground River, and Sulphur Spring. Particularly something like Sulphur Springs and Underground River, they're not very expensive. Well, I guess the Sulphur Springs. And this could be an option since we don't really... there's only a couple instances where we need to tap specifically for black or red mana. And so taking a point of damage might not be so bad. Then there's fetch lands, of course. And of course we could put in a Bloodstained Mire. They're only $4. Or Polluted Delta. They're $6. But Scalding Tarn is out of the question for the time being. Of course, any money that is left over will carry over into the following week. So if, let's say, we only spend $11, then the following week we'll have 15 plus the remainder, so $19 to spend. So at some point in time, obviously, we're going to have to start planning ahead in order to add the more expensive cards. But I guess I'm not in a huge hurry to add the Scalding Tarns. They're not going to come in the Battle for Zendikar, but maybe they'll be in the second block, and by that time we'll be able to sneak these in for a little bit of a more a nicer price. Then there's the Scarlands, the Blackleaf Cliffs, Dark Slick Shores. Again, not very expensive, but are they better than just putting in a Shockland? There's the difference between Blackleaf Cliffs and Blood Crypt is only about 60 cents. It's hard to say which one might be a better fit. Watery Graves and Steam Vents. Again, we're already running 2 Steam Vents. The lists that I typically see for Grixis Delver don't contain more than usually around 2. So if we add a third, it's obviously just a temporary thing. I haven't decided whether if any additional cards that, like, say we decide to run 4 Steam Vents for the time being, and eventually cut it back down to 2. If we'll just resell them and then put that money back into the pool, that's always an option. Please express how you feel about that in your comments, and we'll see. I might also add in some personal flavor to version 2, so you might see a card or two that that doesn't seem to fit, but I'd like to test out. Kind of like the Typhoid Rats that I'm running in version 1 right now. It's not a... it just seems like an odd fit, but it seems to work for me. At least it's worked out so far. Again, as I said, if you have any additional suggestions, please... include them down in the comments, and I will try my best to respond to every one. So that's I guess the video. It's gone on for about we're at 24 minutes right now, so I think maybe I won't include that that last match unless somebody in the comments really wants to see it, or if I get enough requests for it, I'll put it in there. That's that would be this video. and I'll just trail off with it running. But as I said, thank you for listening. Please hit the like button, and I'll see you guys very soon with version 2. So get those comments in as quickly as you can, and I'll make some upgrades. Thanks a lot, and see you.